time, weather, and always class. Case of
Director of the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Comes his most terrifying creation. 100,000 volts of pure evil. Shocker.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Rated R.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
WKGF presents The Witching Hour with Max Thorn.
Good evening, my little midnight society, and welcome back to The Witching Hour, your late-night ride into the strange and unexplained. I'm Morbid Max Thorn, working the graveyard shift as your guide through the shadowy corners of the world, and tonight, we are diving into two stories that are happening right now, and one that I took a look at earlier in the week, right here in my hometown of Bakersfield, California. With me, as always, in the booth to my left, is my producer, Ricky, the human lie detector. Hope you had a great week, Rick? He's nodding. Hey, I got a chance to listen to the new Motley Crue album called Dr. Feelgood that released this week, and it made me feel good. It's good stuff. You should definitely check it out. I'm sure if you're a WKGF listener, you're probably sick of hearing me talk about this album on my rock show, Monday through Thursday here on WKGF 11 to 2 p.m., but whatever. It's awesome. You should definitely go listen to it. All right. No more music talk. Enough of the non-spooky stuff. Let's get this ball rolling, especially since things are happening right now. First, we are traveling to the Lone Star State, Austin, Texas, where several kids have gone missing over the summer, and an ice cream truck seems to be involved, though I'm unsure how as of now. But we will be digging. I know what you're thinking. The inherent idea of a stranger driving around in a van that actively lures children to it sounds creepy in and of itself. But as far as I could see, there haven't been too many sinister things happening involving those dinner wreckers, as my mom calls them. At least as far as I could tell. Which makes this story pretty interesting to me. From what I'm hearing, the truck itself is a little off. The jingle that it relentlessly plays around neighborhoods, it's just a little too off-key. The man driving it, well, let's just say he's not what he seems. And the kids, they're disappearing, vanishing into thin air. I'm sure the news is all over the state of Texas, but I hadn't heard it making its way out here to the Central Valley until a caller named Tiffany tipped me off to it at the end of last week's show. I was intrigued. Turns out, this isn't some rumor, some late-night camp story. Children are going missing almost at the rate of one a week, and all within a few square miles of each other. So, all week, pretty much during all my free time, I've been on the phone with authorities and residents of Austin, Texas, trying to uncover any news I could about the missing children, and what I found was pretty wild. On the phone with me now is local Austin teen Becky Robinson, whose neighbor went missing earlier this summer. Thank you so much for joining me, Becky. Are you there?
Hi, Max. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. God, I don't even know where to start. It's been a nightmare. That truck just showed up at the beginning of summer vacation, and at first it was just a regular ice cream truck, or at least that's what we thought. We didn't think anything about it at first. But the more it was around, the more, I started to notice something a little strange about it.
Tell us what you noticed.
The music. It's like warped. Like it's a record that was left out in the sun. And the driver's smile, oh my God. In fact, the driver, all of them, just doesn't look right. Almost like he's not quite real. You know, like the singing rat at that pizza place. And now kids are missing. Tommy Parker, Susan Carter, and my little neighbor Eunice. And who knows how many others. They're just gone, Max. I swear to God, that truck is behind it.
Those pizza rodents creep me out. So if the driver is even remotely similar, I understand your concerns. Actually, that's a lie. I love the animatronics. But still, Becky, what makes you so sure that the truck is responsible? And this driver, what's his deal? Just because he's weird isn't proof that he's bad. Some people just have a limited range of emotions, and that's perfectly normal and fine.
I followed the truck one night, Max. I saw the driver up close. He looked normal at first, but when I got closer, I realized he wasn't moving right. Then he smiled at me, and I thought I would die, Max. His smile was upside down.
You mean like a frown?
No, I mean it was a normal smile, but turned upside down, like a child drew a face from memory and got it wrong. I'd never seen anything like it. I screamed and ran away, and when I turned back, he was still smiling at me. I stopped and looked at him, and we just stared at each other for what seemed like forever. Then his stupid upside-down smile grew even bigger and bigger until his mouth was fully open. It wasn't right, Max. It was not right. The inside of his mouth was the blackest hole I've ever seen in my life, like a void. I don't think he's real, Max. He's like a puppet. Something else is controlling him.
Oh, wow.
I stood there and waited for him to leave, and he drove right by me, never even glancing my way anymore. But Max, his hands never moved. That truck turned right in front of me, and his hands never moved.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and even worse, when it drove past me, I swear I could hear voices. Not just that stupid jingle, but kids crying, screaming. It was like coming from inside the truck.
There were kids in the truck?
No, it wouldn't be possible. The truck is small and open. There were no kids in it, just him, I swear.
Wow, okay. So, if you're saying the driver isn't real, then what's left? That the truck is alive? That it's doing the luring and the kidnapping?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. The driver is just for show, to trick us, to trick the kids. It's a projection or something. And the truck obviously doesn't have proper blueprints for a human because that mouth is all sorts of screwed up. But like, the truck, it's not just a truck. Don't laugh. I think the truck is a literal monster. And it's taking the kids, eating them or stealing them or God knows what. Max, when the police came after Tommy disappeared, they searched that truck. But it just sat there, still like it was playing dead, like a dog would do. They didn't find anything. No driver, no kids, nothing. But I swear, them kids are inside it. It's like a stomach. Like the gas tank is a stomach? I don't know.
I get a lot of scam calls here, and my producer Ricky is really good at weeding out who's BSing us. And I don't think that's what you're doing at all. But Becky, you said the police didn't find anything. So what happened after that?
They towed it, Max. They towed the truck away. We thought it was over, but that night it came back. It escaped from the impound lot and just rolled back into the neighborhood like nothing happened. And the jingle, it was louder, Max. It woke me up. I looked outside and it was just parked there right outside my window, just waiting for me.
So you're telling me the cops couldn't stop it. Tow trucks can't stop it. So what about the neighbors? Is anyone else seeing this nightmare on wheels?
Yeah. Everyone sees it, but no one knows what to do. They've called the police, and look what happened. My neighbors are a wreck. I can only imagine how all the other families are feeling. Max, I think it's getting worse. It's hungrier. The jingle plays even when it's not there. It's in my head. I can't sleep.
Hold that thought, Becky. I don't want to cut you off, but we have another caller on the line. Michael, you're alive with the witching hour. What's your take on this rolling nightmare?
Hey, yeah, it's real, Max. That truck, it's not just alive. It's playing with us. I followed it last night trying to figure out where it goes, and I swear it led me in circles. Like it knew I was there. And then it stopped, just stopped in the middle of the road. I walked up to it, and that jingle turned off. Dense silence. The back door swung open, and I saw God. I saw them. The kids, they were inside, but they weren't moving. They were part of it now, like it was digesting them.
Michael, let me get this straight. You're saying the kids are still inside the truck, but they're what? Absorbed? Consumed?
Yeah, it's feeding on them, and it's not gonna stop. I thought for sure I was a goner, but I ran. I ran fast, and I stepped into the school grounds. I could hear that jingle following me. That truck, if not just a monster, it's a predator. It is hunting us, Max, and it's winning.
What can be done about all this? Does the city have any ideas?
The majority of the people think we're crazy, but they've never seen it. But I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna blow it out, and I'm gonna blow it straight to hell. This is all gonna end real soon, Max. I promise you. I'm gonna track it, and I'm gonna kill it.
Michael, I'll admit you've got guts, but I can't be on the air condoning this. My advice to you is let the authorities handle the truck's destruction.
And my advice to you, Thorn, is to watch me.
All right, he hung up. Becky, are you still with me?
And I'm gonna be the one that lights the match, Max. Just wait and see.
Whew. Okay. I know I joke a lot, but don't do anything stupid. You're going to do what you're going to do. I know you are. But if what you told me is true, you're not going to beat it with a match. So take my advice. Lay off. Find the proper authorities. You can take them to it. Anything. Just don't do it yourself. I don't have a good feeling about it, and I don't want you being reckless. But you're going to do what you got to do. I know you are. So just be careful. Use your head. Don't do anything stupid. All right. We're going to take a break. Listen to a couple of quality commercials, I'm sure. I'm not supposed to say that. Ricky's pulling his hair out. No, they are quality commercials. I wasn't being sarcastic about that. You're really going to enjoy them. Okay. Small commercial break. Pay some bills. We'll be back in just a second with more of the Witching Hour.
I'm here for my appointment, Doctor.
Count Dracula, when are you going to come in through the door?
Forgive me.
Now, just because I'm your psychiatrist doesn't mean you can come in here and act crazy.
I'm so upset.
What's your problem?
I'm never satisfied.
You need an extra bite.
I love an extra bite.
Have you tried Baby Ruth?
Does she live alone?
The candy bar account. Baby Ruth is bigger than most other leading candy bars, so you get an extra bite in every bar.
But how does it taste? I'm very picky.
Delicious. Baby Ruth has lots of fudge and nuts and caramel.
Yum. I love that. But, Doctor, this big Baby Ruth must be very expensive.
Not at all, Count. You get an extra bite in every bar of Baby Ruth without paying extra.
That's amazing. I'll go to the store and get a big bunch of bigger Baby Ruths. Who knows? Maybe I'll stay home tonight.
Great, Count. Just remember to go out the...
You get an extra bite in every bar.
Welcome back to the Witching Hour. Okay, that commercial wasn't too bad. And mercifully, it was just a one commercial break. I hope you all survived it. Anyway, last week we got a call that intrigued me. FB's Toys, a staple of Riverside's Grand Plaza Mall, is a place you've likely visited if you live in the area. Maybe you remember it from the Cabbage Patch riots of '82 or the Teddy Ruxpin craze of '85. Maybe you did some holiday shopping there, or maybe your children dragged you there every time you passed by, with its colorful aisles of blue and yellow and shelves stocked to the brim with the latest and greatest toys and games. It's the last place you'd expect something sinister to lurk. But over the years, apparently rumors have spread about something wrong inside FB's. Very specifically, on aisle 12. By day, it's just another row of dolls, porcelain ones, plush ones, and even a few of the brand new and mega hot Tickle Me Tonys. But by night, the dolls have been said to move. Some swear they hear laughter, others claim the eyes of the dolls follow them as they walk past. And now, I've decided to do a little digging for myself. To go deeper into this mystery, I spoke with some of the employees and customers who have first-hand experience with aisle 12 at FB's. Here's one of the store managers, Chris Benchley.
Dude, I don't go near aisle 12 after that store closes. It is either ice cold or blazing hot compared to the rest of the store, you know? So, after school starts back up is always like a slow time. So that's when we start slowly pulling the summertime stuff and putting up the, Christmas displays, because Christmas season starts in like August now. Anyway, I had just finished up putting a big display, and then I was restocking some shelves with that Tickle Me Tony thing, and I swear I heard whispering. I turned around, and one of those creepy porcelain dolls with the glass eyes was on the floor, even though I had just put it on the top shelf. I put it back again, but when I turned around, I heard this faint, giggle. Look, dude, I don't care if you think I'm drunk or high as a kite or whatever, man. I'm telling you, those dolls move. And they don't like people messing with them.
This employee's account is far from the only one. Customers have reported their own unsettling encounters. Joining us on the phone, a Riverside mother who was shopping with her young daughter at FB's earlier this week. Thank you for calling in. You're on the air with Max Thorn. Tell me about your encounter at the toy store.
My daughter loves dolls and just has to have a new one. So we were looking at them on aisle 12, right? She picked up the one she wanted Santa to bring her for Christmas when I noticed all of the dolls on the shelves had turned to face us. All of them.
Oh, dang.
I didn't see any of those darn things move, but I swear on my Aunt Tilly, they were not looking at us before. And then my daughter, she dropped that doll she was holding and said, "We can't take him. They said he has to stay." I asked who they was and she wouldn't tell me. She just kept saying, "They're watching her." We left that store immediately. Kmart is good enough for us from here on out. Nothing bad happens at Kmart.
Yeah, Kmart is great. I bought a bowling ball there last week. They even drilled the holes for me. And at about a third price as the pro shop. Thanks for calling. Anyway, I decided to go even deeper, turning to our local libraries and records department for any news I could find about what happened a mere 3 hours from here. That is when I discovered this story takes a darker turn when you look at the history of FB's location. Before this mall was built, the land was home to a boarding school that burned down in 1933, taking the lives of dozens of children and adults. According to the only 2 survivors of the tragedy, the fire was started by one of the students, a 9-year-old little girl named Lily Ledbetter. Neither of the witnesses could give any reason as to why she did it, at least none that I could find. So, I decided I needed to delve into this story a little more. I called local paranormal investigator Sarah Clarkson, who has been almost obsessed with the story. She seemed a little nervous to talk to me, but here's what she had to say. Thanks for taking my call, Sarah. What can you tell me about all this?
So I'm always on the lookout for a good haunting, and I've been hearing a lot of rumors about FB's. Not the mall, specifically FB's, like that exact spot.
What kind of rumors?
Dolls moving on their own, whisperings at closing time, cold spots, standard paranormal fare. I thought it might be residual energy or even just overactive imaginations from stoned teenagers.
But it wasn't.
I'm sure part of it was, but not all of it. When I got there, the manager Caleb walked me through the incidents. We set up near aisle 12, where most of the reports were focused, and that's when the EMF detectors started going bonkers.
EMF detectors?
At first, I thought it was faulty wiring interference from the store's electronics because, honestly, I've never actually, found anything before, but it wasn't. It was totally the real deal Holyfield.
So what happened next?
Things escalated quickly. I started hearing faint giggles. They were soft, almost playful, but they shouldn't have been there.
And you're sure it just wasn't, kids at the mall?
No, the mall was closed. Maybe during the daytime, but not at night.
Fair enough. Then what?
Then the spirit box picked up a voice, a little girl. She said her name was Lily, and she was waiting for someone to set them free.
Set who free, did she say?
No, she just kept saying she was waiting. The energy around aisle 12 was getting heavier. I swear there's a ghost in those shelves somewhere, and those dolls, man. It was like the closer I got to those shelves, the more energy grew. Almost like they were guarding something, getting ready to pounce if I posed a threat. I swear their eyes were all glaring at me. That's when I noticed the markings on one of them.
What kind of markings?
Property of Quail Bridge Boarding School. That school burned down in 1933. No survivors. When I touched the doll, the air grew cold, freezing. That's when Lily's voice came through. She kept saying, "Set us free, set us free." So I go to look again, and I swear 2 dolls from the top shelf fall and land straight on top of my head. That's when I realized that Lily wasn't haunting the store. Something in the store was haunting her.
Wow.
Exactly. I had to keep going, though. Caleb helped me clear some of the shelves, but we found nothing. God, I thought maybe I was expecting a portal or something crazy, but nothing.
And Lily?
I could still hear her. Caleb, too. He went and got a Walkman from the electronics aisle and began recording everything, but when we played it back, the only voice was ours. I know it sounds crazy. You want to hear something crazier?
Go on.
The doll, the one that had the marking on it, it was a little damaged, so nobody would buy it. But I took it home that night, and you have to believe me, in the morning it was gone. I came back to FB's, and guess where it was? Right back on the shelf of aisle 12.
Why? Why do you think it returned here?
I think, like I said, I think it's guarding something. Just because we didn't see a portal doesn't mean there isn't one there. And I think those souls are trapped there, being held prisoner.
So what do you make of all this?
I suppose it could go 2 ways. Either the dolls are evil, or the souls trapped inside are evil. And at this point, I don't really want to find out either way. Sometimes things like this are better left alone.
I tried to speak with the store manager, Caleb, but this is all he had to say.
Nope, no way. Nope, not a chance. La, can't hear you.
FB Toys' corporate office denies any knowledge of paranormal activity and insists the doll's movement is a result of customers' imaginations or simple misplacement. But for those who have felt the cold chill of aisle 12 or heard the faint whispers well past closing time, those explanations aren't enough. The store remains open for now, though some employees have reportedly quit, unwilling to work near the infamous aisle. Meanwhile, the dolls stay on their shelves, their eyes unblinking, watching, waiting. If you're feeling brave, Riverside, I encourage you to visit FB's Toys yourself. But be warned, if you buy a little Susie, that damaged doll with the school markings, it probably won't be under the tree on Christmas morning. So I have to admit, since stretching our broadcasting wings far beyond the Southern Valley of California, we have received an insane amount of calls from people wanting to tell us their stories. And let me tell you, that has really freed up some of my time. When we were broadcasting to just Southern California, we still got plenty of calls, but not enough to, really pack it tight. So I would go out and investigate haunts on my own, then return back to WKGF and relay my findings to you. But last week's first real episode and tonight's have proven that we're going to be getting a lot of phone calls, and I might not have enough time to get in my own things. I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to try. But for now, I like the community coming together, and I like hearing other people's stories. But nonetheless, I was feeling a bit nostalgic this week and wanted to head back out into the field, as they say, because tonight's investigation into the strange and unknown takes place right here, a mere 3 miles from where I'm sitting. It's a story of betrayal, desperation, and a very, very bizarre haunting with quite possibly the most annoying ghost I've ever encountered. Virginia Clifton's murder has rapidly become a modern-day ghost story. My locals may remember it, but I'll recap for all my new friends out there. Virginia Clifton was found dead in her home back in February of this year, the victim of an apparent suicide on Valentine's night. A suicide that turned out to be impossible. Authorities have pieced together the chilling events leading up to the death of Virginia Clifton and her alleged, but still very obvious, killer, ex-husband, Arnold Clifton, now rumored to haunt a popular family attraction known as the Maze Craze. Virginia Clifton, a wealthy Bakersfield country club goer, was married for nearly a decade to her ex-husband, Arnold. Their contentious divorce left him financially drained by court-ordered alimony payments, which he claimed fueled his hatred and bitterness towards his ex-wife and her accustomed lifestyle. What started as resentment eventually morphed into a deadly plot. Authorities say the ex-husband meticulously crafted a plan over the course of several months. He allegedly traveled to Mexico under the pretense of a vacation where he procured a sedative, Nimbutal, known for its high lethality and chemical similarity to Virginia Clifton's own prescription sleeping medication. His scheme relied on Virginia's long-standing insomnia and her routine use of sleeping aids. It seemed, without Arnold there to bore her every night with riveting stories of real estate appraising, quality sleep was getting harder and harder for her to obtain. Arnold, with his starched ties and hunched shoulders, was no expert in murder, and I seriously doubt he ever gave it any thought until those alimony bills kept coming, and he had had enough. His wife could afford the country club membership and the expensive lunches on the golf courses without working a day in her adult life, but he could not. But let's back up a little farther and explain what caused the divorce. I went to the country club Virginia often attended and asked a few guests if they had any idea what happened. All of them refused to be recorded, but all of them also came in hot with the gossip, all drunk by 11 a.m. on a Tuesday, but still seemingly reliable. Old Arnie had become an absolute slog to live with. His job was boring, his stories were boring, he was passive-aggressive about everything. Now, I'm only 23 and never been married. But 2 weeks ago, someone left a post-it note on the studio's fridge door that read, "I guess some people just love eating other people's lunches," and that was enough for me to never go in there again. So I can't imagine being married to someone like that. Oh, and the cherry on top of all that was that he was extremely jealous of every dude that crossed Virginia's path. From the milkman to the bagger at the supermarket, every member of the male sex was a threat to him. Shocking absolutely no one but her husband, Virginia had had enough and filed for divorce in May of 1987 after a shockingly longer than expected 9.5 years of marriage. Well, I'm sure you know where this is going. The judge ordered Arthur to pay alimony monthly, and he did, while he secretly watched his wife revenge date man after man, knowing full well she would never get serious with any of them because that would stop the free money train. So little old milquetoast Arnold had decided that he had had enough, and he came up with a plan. He was going to poison his ex-wife and disguise it as a suicide. During a visit to Virginia's house, under the guise of dropping off his latest pound of flesh, as he called it, Arnold managed to steal a spare set of house keys. The ex-husband's chance to strike came on Valentine's Day of this year. Arnold was stalking her, following her every move. So when he finally saw Virginia get up and go to the neighborhood Long's drugstore to pick up her refill of sleeping pills, he knew that that night would be the night. Just after 11 p.m., he entered her home via the stolen keys and alarm code she'd never bothered to change, and administered a lethal dose of Nimbutal into the webbing of her toes while she slept, staging the scene with a glass of water beside her bed and dumping her newly filled prescription pills down the sink. Satisfied, he left, convinced he had successfully faked her suicide. He had hoped the maid would discover her in 2 more days, giving the drug plenty of time to leave the body without a trace. He didn't know, however, that her doctor had replaced her sleeping pills with sugar tablets. According to the doctor, who chose to remain anonymous, Virginia Clifton had expressed suicidal thoughts, prompting him to switch to a placebo pill, ensuring she would not be able to use her prescription as a means to end her life. She could have taken that whole bottle of pills and felt completely fine. Arnold had messed up. Again. With the help of her doctor, it didn't take long for authorities to be on the hunt for Virginia's murderer. Cornered and panicked, Arnold Clifton fled authorities, ultimately seeking refuge in a nearby family fun center, in a giant wooden maze called the Maze Craze. After a tense standoff, he was fatally shot by police within the twisting corridors of the labyrinth. The Maze Craze closed temporarily following the incident, but has since reopened with an unexpected addition to its roster of fun: the ghost of Virginia's ex-husband. That's right, the ghost of Arnold Clifton is said to be roaming around this giant maze, seemingly, and rather ironically, stuck. A shadowy figure matching Arnold's description was spotted pacing the maze. The air in certain sections grew unnervingly cold. Disembodied whispers echoed from the dark corners, and chillingly, objects began to appear out of nowhere. Rusty blades, pill bottles, lengths of frayed rope, even a single key said to resemble the one from Virginia's home, proving that even in death, Arnold couldn't help being relentlessly passive-aggressive. I grabbed my trusty tape recorder and headed to the scene. This is local giggling teen Beth.
So, I saw this shadow moving just ahead of me, and, at first, I thought it was another kid. But when I turned the corner, there was no one there.
All right, well, that sounds mildly terrifying, I guess. Were you terrified?
Oh, for sure. So terrified. Then I heard voices. Kind of a nasally voice, but no one was there.
What did the voice say?
It was saying that the gaps underneath the walls were too big, and people could just, crawl under them and cheat. And, I think he might have a point. Because, I came here with a big group of people once, and, it was boys versus girls, and boys won really fast. And, all their knees had dirt on them and stuff,
I wasn't convinced. Here's another local giggling teen, Julie.
Oh my god, am I on TV?
Oh my god, there's no camera.
It's like Bakersfield, right? It's always hot. But inside the maze, there's this one part where it felt like I walked straight into a meat locker.
And that wasn't enough to scare you away for good?
No, because I've seen those ghost movies. They're not too scary, Besides, it's 110 here in the summer. I'll take the free ghost AC.
All right, touché. I decided to speak to some of the staff of the Maze Craze and see if there's any truth behind these wild rumors. And sure enough, even the employees began reporting unsettling phenomena. One claimed to see ghostly shadows sifting across the wooden panels. Another heard faint whispers echoing in the dead of night. Some workers even quit, spooked by the growing sense of dread. And perhaps most concerning, the sudden appearance and often disappearance of rather sinister items found around the maze. Things I mentioned before, like the rusty blade, the nooses, the pill bottles, and other instruments of murder and suicide left behind as if to lure unsuspecting victims. One employee verified the report of finding a house key she said was sure to be to the door of Virginia's house, although this could not be proved as the lock has long since been changed. No doubt, though, these ghostly tokens are reminiscent of the ex-husband's twisted mindset, and some speculate that his tormented spirit remains in the maze, seeking company in his spectral prison. Despite, or perhaps because of, these ghostly rumors and the air of ever-growing malevolence, the maze craze became a dark tourist attraction, thanks in part to America's obsession with and profitability of the macabre. As word began to spread, the maze craze has become a sensation, drawing thrill seekers who want a glimpse of the infamous apparition rumored to haunt the maze's pathways. Dubbed the Bitter X, the ghost of Virginia Clifton's ex-husband has become sort of a twisted mascot for the Family Fun Center. To cash in on the buzz, they launched the After Dark experience, dimming the maze's lights and adding actors dressed in vintage polyester slacks and members-only jackets, Arnold's signature style, to roam the corridors of the maze, whining. The gift shop has joined the tone-deaf celebration, selling Bitter X-themed keychains, shirts emblazoned with uninspired phrases like "Enter if you dare, escape if you can," and toy pill bottles, because nothing says family fun quite like a plushy pill bottle with a skull and crossbones on it. A haunted history tour was launched soon after. An actor playing a grizzled detective that had absolutely nothing to do with the real case took visitors through Virginia's tragic death, Arnold's lame plan, and his ghostly imprisonment in the maze. The more people flocked to the attraction, the more the paranormal activity seemed to escalate. Some paranormal investigators recorded eerie EVP clips, including faint whispers saying, "I'm here," or more chilling, "Were you looking at that guy?" Or my personal favorite, "God damn it, the doctor fucked me." Guests claimed to feel unseen hands brush against their arms, and lights flickered unpredictably. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, it's hard to deny the sinister energy that now permeates the maze craze. Local skeptics say the ghost stories are just part of a smart but rather bizarre marketing ploy. But for those who have had personal experiences, the maze craze holds an unnerving allure. As word of mouth of the ghostly encounters continues to spread, so do warnings to never go alone, and stories of the Bitter X grow stronger with each frightened visitor. Though some customers have complained about the spine-chilling vibe, most come to the maze craze precisely for the fun and perhaps fear it incites, hoping to catch a glimpse of the tragic ex-husband whose ghost, they say, still searches for someone to listen to his complaints. Forever. But perhaps the most haunting detail is how easily we forget the real tragedy behind the legend. Virginia Clifton was a real person, a woman whose life was stolen in a moment of bitterness and rage. And now it seems her murderer is doomed to haunt the maze forever, and maybe rightfully so, but it serves as a spectral warning to those consumed by hatred and jealousy. Get over it. So, my little night crawlers, have you braved the maze craze? Have you felt the icy chill of Arnold Clifton's ghost, or heard his annoying whispers in the dark? I want to hear your stories. The phone lines are open, and I'm waiting to take your calls on this eerie Bakersfield legend. We're going to pay some bills right now, but we'll be back.
We're the kind of place you can just come in and hang around.
Now at Lamppost Pizza, the great new taste of Lamppost chicken, served fresh at your Lamppost pizza table or delivered piping hot to your door. Lamppost chicken is here. Come and get it at your neighborhood Lamppost Pizza for those with a taste for great pizza, chicken, and sports.
Come and get it. Come and get it. The Lamppost taste.
The Broadway Weekend Sale, 8 to 10 Saturday and 9 to 7 Sunday. Save 20 to 50% store-wide. What a weekend at the Broadway.
Hey kids, come get a Scoopy's ice cream. They're delicious.